Hello everyone, this is Felicia with GW Solutions and welcome to our weekly grants review where we go over two real open grant options, one for a nonprofit organization and one for a small business. This month only, we have a promotion. If you want to know how ready your organization is to receive a grant, we have our organizational assessment for $150 this month, where you answer a series of questions to determine the strengths and the weaknesses for your organization and learn what you need to do to make your organization more grant worthy, make you more likely to win one of these grant options that we're going over. So if you click on the link in our feature section, you can get your assessment and start getting your organization better prepared to win one grant award that we're going over maybe right now. Okay, so today we're going to be covering two grants as always. For the for-profit organization, we're going to be looking at the Southern Restaurant for Racial Justice Grant. And for nonprofits, we're going to be reviewing the NBA Foundation. Okay, so I do have an announcement at the end, so stay tuned. So let's get into it. Start with our small business as always. So our small business, like I said, we're going to be looking at the Southern Restaurant for Racial Justice Grant Eligibility Program. So say that 5 times fast. So the link is www.lee-initiative.org/southern-restaurants-for-racial-justice. That's a mouthful. The deadline is July 31st. So it won't be in our newsletter and starting in August because the deadline will have passed. But if you want to get that link, if you have a restaurant or some other type of food service, you can contact me directly and I will get that link to you. So the amount is $15,000 to $25,000 based on the organizational needs. And let me tell you a little bit about it. This initiative is through Heinz Ketchup. They're distributing 60 grants this year, 60 grants. So you have a good chance to get this grant. This is through the Lee Initiative and Southern Restaurants for Racial Justice. The grant recipients can receive up to $25,000 depending on need. So how do you qualify? So this is how you know if you qualify for this grant. If you have a service based food service component, prepared or consumed on site food service. They do have preferences. They are looking for bakeries, restaurants, cafes, brick and mortars, pop up, and farmers market businesses with licenses and histories. Okay, they're looking for food trucks, catering businesses, but you must be a minimum 50% Black owned. Who does not qualify. So these who they won't be supporting packaged food product lines, alcohol and spirit companies, grocery or food markets. But they will make an exception if you have a deli or a cafe, if you have a grocery store or food mart. So it's a lot of options for food service companies. This is why I had this one, even though it's specialized in food service. It actually has a lot of different options. So this is what you need to do this application. You need your sales tax number and your EIN. So your state number and also your federal EIN number. You also need sales for your past 2 years. So if you are a brand new organization, this is not for you. They want to know what your sales are for the past 2 years. They need a statement of how you plan to use the grant money. Now remember, everybody who's applied is going to have a restaurant. They're going to be trying to make money. How are you different? How are you unique? How do you contribute to the society more than just by being a business? And they also want 2 letters of reference. Okay, so these are if you have leadership, Definitely don't do friends or family. You're looking for people with influence that these letters will mean something for your organization. So be prepared to stand out. How? Look at promoting your community connections, your key investments, and your demonstrate your strategy for growth and expansion. And that's how you can win this grant. All right, so that is our Southern Restaurants grant for up to $25,000. Now let's look at our nonprofit grant. It's the NBA Foundation. This one is nbafoundation.nba.com. That one's easy. So this one is rolling grants. That means they're accepting grants at all time. And you usually get a response between 12 to 14 weeks. So this is one of those ones where if you put in an application and you only need about 3 to 4 months, you can get a response and get the money by then. So they're generally offering $10,000 to $25,000. And let's talk about what you need to get this grant. So in order to be considered for a grant from the NBA Foundation, your organization must meet the following requirements. Number one, be registered as a 501c3, tax operating in the United States, or in Canada, a T3010 organization, equivalent to the 501c3 in the United States. You have to have your current 990 form. That means you need to have filed taxes at least once. So that means if you're a brand new organization, this is again not for you, but for the ones who had existed for at least 1 year and has filed a 990 form with the IRS, then you can qualify. But there's more. Your focus needs to be on promoting school to career employment opportunities that target Black youth ages 14 to 24. So it's a variety of programs, educational, enrichment, even job opportunities, financial planning, those kind of things for organizations serving Black youth ages 14 to 24. And you need to serve a minimum of 25 youth annually across all of your programs. So that's not a huge number, but at least 25 youth. But this is what they don't fund. And this is a large and significant category. So this is going to exclude a lot of people, but for the people who's still in there, this is definitely one to go after. So they don't fund programs that serve adults primarily. They don't fund programs that fall outside of their scope of youth employment and school to career opportunities. They don't do direct funding to individuals. That means you need to have a business EIN. You also need to have a bank account. It doesn't go directly to you. They don't do scholarships or galas, competition, conferences, or fairs. They don't do political leaning organizations, hospitals, or school-run programs. So all of those are excluded. But the most important exclusion is this one. They only fund organizations in their 28 NBA markets. So the 28 markets, those are the ones with the teams. It's only 28 because the Lakers, the Clippers, and I believe it's one more that share cities. So you got Detroit and Michigan, Indianapolis and Indiana. If you're outside of those areas, then you will not be considered for an award here. But you do qualify if you're in one of those cities. So if you meet those qualifications, this is a great opportunity for you. Again, they accept applications all year round, and they generally respond back in 12 to 14 weeks. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. We got the Southern Restaurant for Racial Justice grant of up to $25,000 for organizations that are in the food industry. You need to be 50% minority owned and no alcohol, spirits, and if you do a grocery store, have a deli or market inside. What you're going to need there is your state and federal tax numbers, 2 years of sales, a statement of how to use the grant money, and 2 letters of reference. For the NBA Foundation, that's up to $25,000 also, but they take application year round. Oh, the deadline for the restaurant one is July 31st. But back to the NBA, they take applications year round and generally respond in 12 to 14 weeks. They're looking for Black youth, 12 to 24, and employment, career to school to career or employment opportunities. But they're only looking for organizations in their 28 NBA markets. So if you're outside of that, you probably won't get it. So if you think that you qualify for any of those grant opportunities, feel free to go ahead and apply for it. If you don't know, we do have our organizational assessments this month for $150 only. You can click on the link in our feature section on Facebook and get your assessment now. So we will be back next week with 2 more grant opportunities. Be sure to tune in to see if you qualify and can go after funding for your organization. Until then, happy fundraising.